All right, your campaign results are absolutely fantastic. You are ecstatic about your cost per lead or your cost per conversion. So you are ready to blow up. You're ready to increase the spend of your Facebook ads campaign so you can get even more results and even more customers. But the second you do so, increasing that spend, all of a sudden your results crash. What happened? Where did things go wrong? This happens so often with so many entrepreneurs, and I'm going to break down my scaling ad strategy to make sure that you don't experience this same scenario. What's up, everybody? Alvaro here from Alvaro Bayos Digital, and today we are talking about scaling. Now, this is something that seems pretty easy, right? You want to spend more, so then you just increase the budget, and then that should be that. Well, unfortunately, it's not that simple, because at the end of the day, the algorithm is a machine learning algorithm, and you have to kind of play nice with the rules of a machine learning algorithm. If you give it too much information too quickly, things are going to break down, which is why this often happens when you increase your budget. So what is my secret scaling strategy? So let's break it down into two different factors. One is whether you're using a campaign budget level optimization, and then two is whether you're using ADSET budget optimization. So CBO versus ABO. Let me break that down for you in case those are new terms. So campaign budget optimization, or CBO, that's when you have your campaign set, you have your budget set at the campaign level. So let's just say at the campaign level, you set it to $50. You've got 5 ad sets inside of that campaign, so that at the campaign level, it's going to distribute those $50 as it sees fit to those 5 ad sets, right? It might give $49 to one ad set and $1 to the rest. It might give them all an equal split. Who knows? The algorithm will just do what it sees fit. And I also have seen in some accounts recently that they've changed the name of CBO to, I think, Advantage Plus Optimization, which is just the dumbest name on the planet. It makes zero sense. So I'm sticking with CBO here in this example. So if you are using CBO, here is how you want to be scaling. You can actually be very aggressive with CBO. What I typically like to do is increase my ad spend, again, assuming things are going well, 50% every other day. Meaning if on Monday, my results are fantastic and my budget is $100 a day at the moment, I'm happy to increase that to $150 per day. And then if results hold on a Wednesday, then I give it another 50% increase that day right there. Now, you can be a little bit more aggressive if it's absolutely necessary with a CBO campaign. So this would be an instance for if you're doing a live launch and you only have a 10-day time period, you need to get to a certain spend level. So what do you do in those scenarios? So I have in the past actually done a 100% increase with a CBO campaign. The results still hold pretty well. It's not perfect, but again, this is just in that scenario where you just need to scale as quickly as possible. I have done 100% every other day, and so you can give that a try. But to maintain the best results possible, I certainly do recommend doing a 50% increase every other day. Now, what if you're doing ABO, ad set budget optimization? So this is the opposite of CBO. So as opposed to having the budget set at the campaign level, you have it at the ad set level. So going back to the previous example, you have a campaign and you want to be spending $50 a day. Well, then you have to give the 5 ad sets $10 a day individually, and they will spend those $10. They might spend a little bit more, a little bit less, but for the most part, they're going to be spending $10 every single day. So what do you do in this scenario? Well, you have to be way more conservative when it comes to scaling an ABO ad set. And so what I do is I actually do a 20% increase every other day when I'm using ABO. So it's significantly less than when you are using CBO, and I just try to play it very safe. Now, again, in the same scenario where let's just say you're in a launch, you have a very shortened time period and you need to scale fast, I have done up to 40% increases with ABO and still been able to maintain relatively good results. I would prefer if it's kept at 30% or less, and obviously the ideal spot in my mind is 20%. But again, in those extreme scenarios where you just need to scale fast in a very short time period, then you can maybe perhaps try up to 40% and results should still maintain relatively close. So what if you need to scale more than that, especially when using ABO campaign? Let's say you have $10 a day and you need to be spending $100 a day by tomorrow. Well, I do not recommend increasing the same ad sets from $10 to $100 in a given day. In those types of scenarios, what I would actually recommend is just creating a brand new ad set, duplicating your current ad sets, and then having a new one go live the very next day at your desired level. So if on a Monday I'm spending $10 a day on an ad set and I want to be at $100 a day by tomorrow on Tuesday, then I'll just duplicate that ad set, and that new ad set I've scheduled to go live Tuesday morning, and I would set it at $100. So now that you've heard this really quick, one thing you might be wondering is like, well, why would I ever use CBO, why would I ever use ABO over CBO if you can scale much more quickly when it comes to CBO? And that is a good point, but CBO doesn't have all the advantages. I have always experienced being able to get cheaper cost per leads when using ABO. So that is just one thing to consider. So CBO, it's easier to manage, but overall you're gonna have a higher cost per lead in most cases. ABO, a little bit more difficult to manage, but in most cases you're gonna be able to generate a cheaper cost per lead. So hopefully that makes sense. Nice and simple and straightforward, and I can assure you if you try this, you will find much greater success in scaling your Facebook campaigns. If you have any questions about this, as always, please let me know in the comments below. Here's 2 more videos for you to check out. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.